Hello, this is Fred Rowe from Sarah Bright Dot Fly Fishing Guide Service. I've been teaching guiding, writing, and lecturing in the Eastern Sierras since 1982. Well, let's get to this week's fly fishing report for January 29th through February 4th. Holy moly, we're into February already? That's kind of good news for fishing. Let's start with the lower Owens River. As we start warming up, the days are getting longer. We're starting to see hatches. I've seen my first blue-wing olive hatch on the lower Owens River that the fish actually came to the surface and we're taking them. So it won't be long we're going to have consistent dry fly fishing. But for now, we're still nymphing. And what are we nymphing with? Well, we're using size 18 olive quildigons, size 18 beadhead flashback pheasant tail to imitate the blue-wing olive mayfly nymphs, and then we're fishing with midge nymphs, and we're using the colorations of tiger, of zebra, and then blood midges in sizes 20 and 22. Okay, Bishop Creek Canal. It's really low, it's really clear, fish are super spooky. But if you're careful and you can find deeper water like the pools or faster water like the riffles, you can catch some fish in there. You just got to move around and work on the fish. But if you just walk right up, you're going to spook them and you're not going to get anything. And what are we getting them on? Primarily on midges. Tiger midges, zebra midges, blood midges in size 20. I'm also throwing the olive quilligon in a size 18 and then the beadhead flashback pheasant tail in a size 18. Let's head up the hill. Let's talk about Owens River, the upper Owens River. So what's it doing? Well, we got a little snow, not enough to keep anybody out. We can still drive right in. For the most part, it looks like fall up there. Doesn't look like February, late January weather up there. We need snow and we need it bad. But for the fishing, it's great that we can all access it. But there is a negative side to that. We're getting a lot of fishing pressure up there, so it's a lot harder than we're used to in winter, just because of the number of people that can drive right in there and fish. So what that means for you, the fly fisher, got to cover a lot of water and then cover a few spots you wouldn't think is holding the fish because they're looking to get away from all the fishing pressure. So where am I fishing? Well, my standard spots, deep holes, deep runs, really working the cut banks because they're not getting as much fishing pressure. And they'll look for little pockets of deep water where you think other anglers might have skipped over. You fish those, you're going to find the trophy trout in there. And what are we fishing for them? Well, I'm using the size 12 stoner nymph, the size 12 green gold wire prince nymph, and then we're using size 14 copper johns, and we're also using size 12 variations of a gold-ribbed hare's ear. Then if you just want to catch the standard 8 to 14 inch fish that are in the river, then we're using the olive quildigon in a size 18, the size 18 beaded flashback pheasant tail, and then we're also throwing a few dry flies for them. Try Griffith snabs and try blue-wing olives up there, and you'll get a few fish on the surface. Okay, Hot Creek. Middle of the day, guess what? It's got a hatch going off. Primarily midges, but there are a few blue-wing olives in there. And then right before dusk, when it's really cold down in the canyon and you're freezing, there's a few fish coming to the surface. Not what I would rate a big hatch, but there are a few, and more caps are on there. In fact, I was up there the other day using a dry and dropper, and we caught them on a Chernobyl and surprised me. But what we're primarily doing in there is nymph fishing, and we're fishing like 11 to 1, 10 to 2, somewhere in that time frame when the fish are really active and feeding. We're primarily fishing with midge patterns, tiger midges, zebra midges, blood midges in size 20 or 22. But I'm also throwing the blue-wing olive nymphs in there, the olive quilligon and the beadhead flashback pheasant tail, both of those in a size 18. Well, that's been this week's fly fishing report, brought to you by Fred Rowe from Sarah Bright Dot Fly Fishing Guide Service. I can be found on YouTube, on Instagram, and Facebook, and every Tuesday at Mahogany Smoked Meats. And don't forget to check me out on lpptv.us.